compared with what we used to have, I think the situation has gotten more adverse. I can only contrast it with my own experience in the 80s, for example, when we took on a government with a huge majority in the Bofors investigation. And the hardship we faced, if any, is nothing compared with what journalists doing perhaps less impactful stories face today. So the situation has got worse. It's not just because of the media environment, it's a political, socio-political environment. And when it gets so toxic, also the social media are, I think, now a big pressure point for journalists. Sometimes I think you should just ignore it. The fake news, the campaigns, social media are important, but when you get trolled, it's very stressful for many journalists, and the best way is to insulate yourself. You should be reasonably informed. But if I engage with every idiot and every hate monger who is out there in the trolls, then I think it'll affect my performance. So you've got to learn to do the Dhoni act, if you like. Dhoni is somebody who I think he's on record to say that he's been through a lot, and he's really had to work very hard to get to where. And everybody talks about the equanimity. The man doesn't over-celebrate. He's calm personified. It appears as a captain particularly, but even today. So if you're able, and I'm sure Dhoni faces a lot of pressure, but Dhoni handles the pressure in some way that with some secret. I think it's a secret yet to be discovered. I mean, this is one example from cricket, but there are others who have this, and I think that you have to develop a certain equanimity, which doesn't come easily even to middle-level journalists, because they all the time, the attention economy, as it's called, all the time you're distracted by what happens there, and if you engage too deeply with the trolls in responding to them, I think you're not only wasting your time, you're putting yourself under pressure.